This week on Coyote Country, join us as team member Mitch Visser's 4-year wait in receiving his antlered mule deer draw was now over. With the deer season almost half over, Mitch's long-awaited deer tag was now burning a hole in his pocket, and with that all too familiar sound of the clock tick-tocking off in the distance. So with the cameras and tripods in tow, we headed out to the central Parkland region of Alberta in search of the mule deer bucks that roamed those famed coulees. Little did we know how much Mitch's patience was going to be tested. We hope this is an episode that you'll really enjoy. We start off Coyote Country this week with an early morning start from Mitch's home and head off to our destination with visions of monster mule bucks dancing in our heads. But it wasn't too far into the trip where we had to pull over and take a closer look at this fine buck. With that kind of start so early into the day, who knew what the rest of the day was going to bring?
Alright, well, we just got to the spot here, so a little later than we wanted, but you know what, the extra light will help us. We're gonna walk down to a big coulee here, so we'll be able to see lots of country, so the light will help us. So hopefully the deer are moving like they were up on top in the field, so hopefully we'll be talking to you soon. They just go right in front of this bush, and then we can glass all this here. Right on her butt.
I'd say they're rutting.
Yeah, I think they are too.
What do you figure?
Well, there's a few bucks we've seen here, few deer anyways, and two smaller bucks for sure, but we'll go check some more country here. So it looks like they're rutting good, so they should be moving, so let's go check our next spot. That one's not far from being another year. He could be a real gooder, hey?
Yeah. He's got the potential.
His forks are decent,
He's tall.
He's probably just at his ears right now for a width. I still can't make them grow looking at them longer. Man, there's deer, eh?
What's the rush there, buddy?
Oh, I'm not. Do I look like I'm Russian? No, we just seen it. Looks like a half decent buck across the draw here, but it's going straight away from us. But it's worth another look. So.
That looks nice. Now, I didn't realize it at the time, but that fence line you see there was a significant issue for Mitch, as he soon informed me that the fence line was also the property line and that we were good to go on the left side of the fence. Mitch gave his best in trying to contact the landowner and see if we could get permission on the right-hand side of the fence, which took a few phone calls that eventually ended with,
We're wondering if we could have permission to go look at him a little closer. We're just south on this. Okay, so no, don't. All right. Thanks. 504. So we got a nice muley buck just across the draw here from us, about just over 500 yards, but he's 20 yards on this side of the fence where we don't have permission. We phoned to ask the guy for it, and he said no. So he asked us right where the deer was, and then said, oh, we're hunting there, and said no. So we'll have to hope that he crosses back onto the other side of the fence, and if not, we'll have to let him go. But that's hunting, but we're gonna try to get a little bit closer here. So, but 500 yards with Thor here, just Leo's reference is a chip shot, so we should be good to go, but we gotta hope he hops the fence, so we'll keep looking here.
the buck eventually parted ways with the doe, and it was starting to look like Lady Luck was going to shine on us, as the buck was slowly making his way back to the fence line.
Sure looks nice.
Little did that buck know as he jumped the fence that he just made two guys extremely happy.
Well, just a waiting game now. That buck, he went across the fence, but as soon as he did, he went into some thick, heavy willows. And so basically the property goes up like this to the point we got permission in this corner, but it's all big, thick willows and some poplar stand. But we know he's gone in there, so now we just have to be patient, wait him out. He didn't look like he was going to bed down because he's just beating up bushes and stuff, so we're hoping he kind of just moves through and pokes his nose out somewhere. There's a deer right at the top there. That's that little muley buck. So
Just a waiting game now.
yeah, hopefully we can. Hopefully he hasn't decided to go down for his morning siesta. But like the deer are still moving, so he should be too. Status quo, 11:30. We got triple BD, so big buck bedded down. For those watching, we had a text from a certain someone there that we might have been in the mountains with hunting, teasing him a little bit, giving him a little teaser, but that's what BBD, triple BD stands for there. But yeah, no change. We got a little bit of a snowstorm or just a little snow squall moving through here right now, so maybe that'll get him up. But we haven't seen him come up out either side unless he went up over top, but I don't think he would have done that. So I think he's bedded in there. We figure that's probably his bedroom, so hopefully we'll just be patient and wait him out. Seen still some other deer moving. We had two other muley bucks down from us there moving here like 15, 20 minutes ago, and a buck and a doe further down, just little guys moving, so their deer's still moving, so hopefully this guy gets up to stretch his legs and come have a look.
How long have we been waiting for now?
Well, it's 25 after 12, so it's just over a couple hours, almost 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours.
Yeah.
And we're hoping the buck that's bedded in behind those bushes can hear these cows lapping up the water. And maybe he'll get thirsty and maybe show himself. One can only wish. So I have to ask, is this the longest you've ever waited for a deer?
Yes.
That was a quick answer.
Yes. Yeah. No, to sit on one deer this long, yeah, I've never done that before.
Stay tuned for more action on Coyote Country. Join Coyote Country on Facebook for live updates or check us out at coyotecountry.ca.
Nada, coming up in 4 hours here, and no sign of nothing yet, so.
You know, one thing about waiting 4 hours is you get to see how the sun moves in the sky.
Yeah, it's interesting, all right.
Hopefully it's all worth it.
Yeah, I hope so.
Now, it wouldn't be Coyote Country if we didn't have a coyote make a guest appearance. This was actually the third coyote we saw during our wait for Mitch's buck, but all the other coyotes were too far away to film. Now, this coyote had no idea we were there hidden on the side of the hill, and we knew our focus had to be on Mitch's buck, but the coyote hunter and both of us just had to let out a little squeak or two just to see what the coyote would do. What? It's not like he was going to stop and lie down and take a break right down in front of us. Maybe, Mitch, we should be coyote hunting.
Yeah, wouldn't be a bad idea, eh?
He doesn't know he's messing with Coyote Country. Oh no. Are you kidding me?
Is he laying down?
Yes.
Looking at us.
With the magpie.
Right above.
Yeah. Do we unleash Thor?
We're just taking what he's given us.
Now, when you have a coyote bedded at 300 yards away and a long-range rifle at your side, not to mention that Mitch's patience was on hour 4.5, well, let's just say this coyote was in a heap of trouble. The spidey senses on this coyote must have figured out he was messing with the wrong crowd and naturally decided to move on just as Mitch was settling to take the shot. I did my best Fox Pro imitation in an effort to get the coyote to put the brakes on as Mitch was ready to give Thor a soft, gentle squeeze.
Woo! Woo!
It wouldn't be Coyote Country without some coyote action. So what's your first impressions of Thor?
It's pretty nice. That trigger's nice and light.
So I'm thinking if you can hit a coyote at 240, 250, mule buck should be no problem.
Yeah, a bit bigger of a target there on muley buck. Hopefully we get the chance. He must be really sawing logs here.
Well, he just had a wake-up call, so hopefully
Yeah.
it's cooling off.
Yeah, he's got time to get up and stretch.
What's the time now?
10 to 3.
10 to 3.
Yeah, we're coming on. What's that now? Almost 5 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, 5 hours just sitting here looking at trees. The buck came out. He's always at 440 yards. He's just down into the scrub brush here, so he's going towards working away again here.
Okay, I'm on him. Do you want me to stop him when he gets in the open? It was finally great to see the buck back on the move after that long wait, but it appeared that her lady luck had worn off as the buck was making a steady march towards the property fence line, but not before stopping behind a clump of bush to obscure Mitch's view. Now once that buck took 3 steps out from behind that bush, he'd be standing right at the fence line. A little too close for comfort, I'll say. After a 5.5 hour wait, it was all going to come down to a couple of seconds. Over him. Yeah. You hit him. You got him. All what was left to do was cross the creek and make a short hike to retrieve Mitch's buck. I know I was just a cameraman on this hunt, but the anticipation of walking up to that mature-sized deer is always exciting and special, and I had no doubt Mitch was feeling the exact same thing. Right on.
Good character buck, little hooks right in his front forks on each side. Good deal. He looks like a scrapper. Lots of scratches on his face. The patience paid off. 5.5 hours. Longest I've ever waited for a deer. Good deal. Awesome.
There's the truck. And we are way over here.
Truck up on the hillsides there looking again.
Good stuff. We got how much before daylight? Half hour? We got
6 or it's 4 o'clock, so we got about an hour here before it's dark.
right on. And so the work begins.
The work begins now. All right, well, we finally got the deal sealed here. It took us about 5.5 hours of waiting him out there. He went and bedded. We didn't think he was gonna, but he did. So, and of course, he just showed up, and we didn't have a lot of time to get our stuff in gears, but we ended up connecting on him. So nice character buck, a nice 4x4. He's got a little sticker on the front fork on each side there, so that's kind of neat. Yeah, down right in the bottom of the coulee here, so we got a bit of work to get him across the creek and up to the truck there, but great hunt with a great friend, and that's what it's all about, right? Spending time outside, outdoors with your friends and family. So yeah, real happy with it. So that's the mule buck for 2015. Oh, wow, looks in real good shape on this side. Well, Thor dropped the hammer on this coyote. In case you don't know Thor, 300 Win Mag spitting out 185 grain burger, so did the job. Yeah, real nice looking dog. Looks like we got a ride coming.
As we retrieved Mitch's coyote, and with the evening light quickly fading upon us, we had a welcome visit by the landowner and his crew that graciously assisted us in loading up the heavy buck back to the truck, which proved to be a huge time saver for us and really put the icing on the cake for what turned out to be a memorable day.
Coyote Country was proudly presented by CR Backwoods. Follow along as Coyote Country team member Susan attempts to harvest her first ever whitetail buck and lives through the drama that a hunt can sometimes bring on next week's episode titled Susan's Archery Bush Buck.